Hello and welcome to HITC Sevens, and today's video in which I'm going to be attempting to answer some of your quickfire questions. Basically, I ran out of time to make a proper video, so instead I just put up a post on both Instagram and Twitter asking some of you to put your quickfire questions to me. Hopefully questions that I can answer in a few words or a couple of sentences at most. So if you missed those posts because you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram and you would like to get involved in the future, then you can follow me on both platforms by the username at HITC Sevens. You may recall, subscribers to the channel may recall that I made a very similar video to this one back in September of last year when I also ran out of time, in which my girlfriend, the format was that my girlfriend had sort of cue cards that she would hold stood behind the camera, and as I answered each question, she would sort of drop one down and move on to the next one. Now, I'm not blessed by her presence on this occasion because she is busy vaccinating old people against COVID-19, which apparently is more important than providing world-class football-based content to almost 400,000 subscribers. So apologies for her selfishness. Not everyone is doing something for the greater good like me for a living. Instead, I have got the questions here. She has still, she's not totally awful. She has still collated the questions, but I may have to look down to register them. So without further ado, I shall put on my spectacles and begin. Right, question number one. Totti or Del Piero? What a way to start. Totti. Who is or was a better manager, Kevin Keegan or Frank Lampard? I would say Kevin Keegan, for now at least. Obviously, Lampard is still very early in his career. Favourite way to pass time? Either sleeping or reading. Favourite video you have made? I think I answered this one in the earlier quickfire questions. Not a problem. I will repeat. Quickfire, Alfie. This is quickfire. The Zaire video that I made, which was entitled "The Dark Truth Behind This Iconic World Cup Image," I think might be my favourite. Also, the documentary I made about Evald Mixon. The recent one about Laszlo Kubala. Those are some. Basically, the documentaries. They're all in a playlist if you want to watch them. Next question. Do you think Hull City will get promoted this season? Easy one. No. Another Hull City one. Biggest Hull City legend between Dean Windass and Ian Ashbee. Ian Ashbee, I would say. Not to put Dino down, but between the two of them. Who would win in a fight between a bear and a shark? What's the setting? With it in an ocean, you would imagine. Also, it would depend on the species of bear and of shark. I think most species of shark are actually vegetarians, so they wouldn't even want to attack a bear, really. Quickfire again. Okay, I will say on land, a bear, and at sea, a shark. Zico or Kaka? Zico, undoubtedly. Your personal best moment as a football player? I assume that means as an amateur football player. I've never been a professional football player. And it would be probably on a beach in Mexico when I scored a winning goal against the staff team at a hotel. Soon to be made a terrible moment because I did a knee slide on the beach and there was a shard of glass. But prior to that was a good moment. Next question. Your favourite Bob Dylan song? Wow. Good question. My Visions of Johanna is a great song, but my favourite Bob Dylan song, and the song that got me first into Bob Dylan, is It's Alright Ma. You can only pick two of Mount, Foden, Maddison and Grealish for the Euros. Which two? I would pick Foden and Grealish, comfortably. Next up, is sweet chili sauce the best sauce ever invented? It's certainly up there, I would say. I don't know about the best. I'd say maybe perhaps from supermarket over the shelf, not like a Not like a sort of specific supermarket, just general supermarkets over the store, maybe. It's up there. There's an Asian takeaway near us that does a better one than sweet chili, but not available commercially. I don't know what it's. I think they make it themselves. I'm sorry to say. Favorite stadium outside of the KCOM. I assume that means other than the KCOM rather than in the immediate vicinity. Well, I always like the City Ground, Nottingham Forest Stadium, primarily because every time I go, we seem to win there. We seem to have an amazing record there, even when Forest were unbeaten at home in forever. But that's not so much aesthetically. Generally, I really like, in terms of a new stadium at least, the Allianz Riviera in Nice, in the south of France. I like that stadium. Yeah, you get a full view of the pitch from the concourse. It's good. Quick fire. Next question. Peak Kante, Vieira and Makalele. Start one, bench one, sell one. I would start Patrick Vieira. I would bench Claude Makalele, and I would sell N'Golo Kante. Modric or Gerrard? I have seen this debate taking hold in the weird world of football Twitter, and I think Luka Modric is a more gifted footballer than Steven Gerrard, but I don't think Luka Modric could have dragged Liverpool to the trophies that Steven Gerrard did, if that's an acceptable answer. It's sitting on the fence a bit, but Modric maybe a better footballer, Gerrard perhaps more impactful and obviously more of a leader. Are there more investigative videos coming, or do you not have time due to the new channel? Well, I'm not allowed to mention the new channel on this channel because it is a separate entity and totally unrelated, although you've given me the opportunity to stress that point. No, it will not affect what I'm doing on this channel at all, although you will have noticed that I've gone down to 6 videos a week rather than 7, but that was always the plan. That's not related to the fact that of this other channel. So no, hopefully I will still get to do the documentary videos. It's just how often can I make them, considering they take a long time to make and they don't get quite as many views. But yeah, no is the answer. What do you do outside of YouTube? Well, at the moment, not very much, like most people probably, unless you live in Australia or New Zealand or Asia. So yeah, not much at the moment. Normally, I like to read and play a bit of football, see my friends, all the normal things, family, that type of thing. I have to say that because they're watching. Next question. If Ronaldo, of the Cristiano variety, won the World Cup, would he be your GOAT? No, I would say, because I don't think that is, the only sort of... If an amazing footballer was born in San Marino and they were clearly the best player in the world, I always think, how would it be fair to discount them from being a GOAT just because they haven't won the World Cup? And anyway, I think Messi's the best player of all time and he hasn't won the World Cup. So, no, not sure. Where are you on the political compass? I am a radical. I don't know. I have a memo not to talk about politics, if possible, on this channel. So I will be. I'll have to be ambiguous, but I think I'm allowed to say that I don't think it's a good idea to destroy the only planet that we are currently capable of inhabiting, and nor do I think that it's great to have people starving to death. Hopefully that's not too political. Next question. Which country is on the verge of a golden generation? Well, for starters, I would reject that term because it's, it's just going to plague you forever. But I would say the United States, the USMNT, that is. England have a lot of great young players, although again, we would not want the tag of golden generation again. And I guess Norway have some, well, obviously Haaland's the big one, but Odegaard and a handful of others. So yeah, as a smaller nation, I guess the US is small in footballing terms historically, but yeah, those are 3. Thoughts on Norwegian football? Well, guess we're on a Norwegian theme. I don't get to watch much Norwegian football. I don't even know if it's broadcasted, but if it is, I haven't seen it. But like I say, the national team excites me, and hopefully at some stage I'll be able to move to Norway, and then I'll be more well versed in the football scene. Most entertaining team in the top 5 leagues. Oh, good question. I assume you mean right now. I think Sevilla. Sevilla are really good to watch. Obviously in the Premier League, Leeds have been entertaining this season, for good and for bad at different times, but always enjoyable. I enjoy watching Brighton under Graham Potter. Man City have, as they've always been under Guardiola, and to bring in more variation since that's 3 Premier League teams, Eintracht Frankfurt. For a while have been good to watch, actually. Yeah. So there's 4 or 5 teams. Views on Michael and James. Would you ever make rant-style videos? First part, can't stand them. Not really. I don't. As I've often said in the past, I don't know them particularly well. I've never actually met either of them in person. I've spoken to them both occasionally over video call, but that's about it. So they both seem like standout guys. Would you ever make rant-style videos? Well, I have very occasionally. There was the video about Mason Greenwood and the one about Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi prince. So they were sort of rant-ish. But yeah, I don't think it's really my style, and I don't think people like it that much. I'm not very much of a ranter and raver in real life, so I don't know why I would be in front of the camera. Ever thought of making a podcast? Yes. Is Neymar overrated? Certainly not. I don't think so, no. I think quite the opposite, if anything. Favourite thing about your job? I get to talk about football as a job, which is quite good. It's not a proper job, which I could never stand the thought of doing. I get to stay at home, which is handy, especially when there's a pandemic. So yeah, those are a few things. Are Ramos and Neuer approaching GOAT status? I assume you mean positionally rather than overall. If it was overall, no, certainly not. Positionally, I would say Neuer, yes, and has been for a while. Ramos, I don't think so. In terms of, I think there have been a collection of better centre-backs. Not to diminish his achievements, obviously, a phenomenal footballer. Will the 2022 World Cup besmirch the tournament? Well, I have been quite vocal about this in the past, and obviously I think the decision to award Qatar the World Cup is absurd, and the decision not to strip them of it even more absurd. So yes, to the extent that it can, the World Cup has already been dragged through the mud on so many occasions. Don't forget that it was given to Mussolini's Italy, and soon, by 2026, we're going to have 40, however many, 40 odd teams in it. So yes, to the extent that it can. Any plans to visit the US post-pandemic, and your favourite US city? So yes, to the start, I would be very happy to visit the US. Hopefully will do soon. I've recently connected with a distant cousin who's in her 90s who lives in California, so it'd be nice to visit her. But yeah, loads of places I'd love to visit. Of the places I have visited, I've been to New York, that's a bit cliche, and Las Vegas, and Florida. I would say Atlanta, because of they had the most amazing pizza pretzel there, and people from, if there's anyone watching in Atlanta, they'll know what I mean. I haven't had a similar one since, and I've looked everywhere, so I'll say Atlanta for that culinary delight. Next question is, will Barcelona go as long as Liverpool did without winning a league title? I should think it unlikely. Best player to fail to adapt to the Premier League. Okay. Best. Good question. Well, there's been loads, hasn't there? Di Maria recently. Amazing player. I wouldn't even say he failed to adapt. As I often say, I thought he was quite good that season. Juan Sebastian Veron is probably a good shout. Diego Forlan, I know, but I'd say Veron is the best one, and he really didn't perform particularly well. I guess Andrei Shevchenko actually as well, but yeah. Okay, Shevchenko and Veron. Why do you prefer work outright over your girlfriend? So I'm guessing, presumably, unless someone's rigged our house, that's from her. Because football is life. Sorry, you knew what you were getting into. What is your opinion on Jimmy Bullard? I do not like the man. I'll leave it there. Are you actually from Hull, or do you just support them? You don't sound like you're from Hull. Okay, I am from... Well, I'm from close to Hull. I was born in Beverley, which is a town quite near Hull, and but I didn't attend school in Hull, so that might be why the accent isn't as strong as perhaps. And I've never actually lived in the town centre or city centre, I should say. So yeah, I'm from. They are my nearest professional football team, unless you count North Ferriby United, who aren't professional, at least at this moment in time. Is it true they call you the Mojito Monster? Right, another one from... know who that's from. Yes, well, it's true that you do, anyway. Do you watch anime? Well, does hentai count? No, should probably crop that. No, I don't, not particularly often. I mean, that doesn't count cartoons, does it? I mean, I watch South Park. I don't know. Anime is more. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Why do you support Hull City? Well, as I mentioned, they are my nearest team. My dad supported Hull City. My granddad, both granddads, even the one who I have barely seen, and the granddad, my other granddad, supported Hull City. So yeah, there was not really any other option, and I wouldn't have rather supported anyone else. I've had a pretty wild ride as a Hull City fan during my time on this earth. We've had lots of promotions and relegations, and I guess that's what it's all about, the wild rides of being a football fan. So yeah, that's why. And it would appear that's the question. So I did set a timer for 12 minutes, but it looks as though... Oh no, I didn't set a timer for 12 minutes, so this may have been longer than 12 minutes. Apologies if so. So yeah, those are the questions. As I say, my girlfriend collated them, so if she missed your question, like I say, she's the type of person that thinks that giving doses of COVID-19 vaccine is more important than helping me run a YouTube channel, one of the most successful football YouTube channels in the world. So what can I say? So that is it for today's video and for today's quick-fire questions. Apologies they weren't all that quick-fire, that was my fault. I'm still struggling with Totti, the very first question, Totti versus Del Piero, but yeah, I think Totti, but it's that was probably the trickiest one in there. Anyhow, yeah, thank you all for sending in your questions. Sorry if yours wasn't covered. I'm sure, hopefully, well, not hopefully, I run out of time, but I likely will, so there'll be another one of these in the future. So what I meant to say is, hopefully, if you didn't get your question answered and you want to in future, you'll most likely have that opportunity. So thank you all, as ever, for watching. Give us a like if you enjoyed this video for some unknown reason. Make sure that you are subscribed. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And also, if you are subscribed, or even if you're not, hit the notifications bell so that you get a little notification every time there is a new HITC Sevens video. Why wouldn't you want that?